All right. Hello, Sooner Nation. Me and Goss were just sitting here talking about Yankees and Boynton baseball. And
Not many people
we
talking
better
about
get
that.
started. It's going to be 30
Yeah.
minutes. We just sit here and just shot the crap for forever. And I'm like, I was arguing about Joe Klatt and looking for John Mateer's obituary because apparently he died.
I saw multiple like rank the 10 best quarterbacks and blah blah blah. Mateer's out, so hats off to John Mateer. May he rest in peace. I'm sure he'll never play another snap again. Maybe he'll get to go to Disney World this week on a Make-A-Wish, and he won't even be at the game or something like that. But
do you feel like
it's crazy?
I almost feel like they're doing it on purpose. Like some of the stuff that's like they've literally just taken OU completely out of all these like power rankings now. If you look, Vanderbilt's ahead of us. I'm not saying Vanderbilt's bad, but like they moved us down to 6. And I'm like, I understand Michael Hawkins played last year and what we saw was not good, but he is a different player.
As our loyal listeners know, I'm always have been and will be a Mike Hawkins defender unless we go out and lay an egg this week and get beat by the Golden Flashes. But
you'll be like this with your hat.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, what Mike Hawkins has put out on the field is no worse than what's being put out on the field by multiple other quarterbacks. And that was in a terrible, terrible offensive system with a terrible, terrible offensive line. And so, yeah, just the demise of OU. It's weird, Jeremy, because we're ranked number 5 in the country, yet we're kind of getting the best of both worlds, though, because what do Oklahoma people love? A chip on their shoulder, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we still get to have a chip on our shoulder, but we're still also ranked number 5 in the country. So really, we're kind of getting the best of both worlds here.
Yeah, I agree. And it just gets frustrating. But you know what? We kind of did it to ourselves last year. I mean, but we can look at it this way. After watching A&M and Auburn play last weekend, it could be worse. We could have Jackson Arnold starting for us instead of Michael Hawkins. I will take Michael Hawkins because
that's what I said.
Jackson Arnold, and you know what sucks for Auburn fans? I care less because I'm getting so sick of them saying we cheated. But if they had just if they had a Dylan Gabriel for that team, that's a playoff team. They have everything but a quarterback and an offensive line. It's not the greatest, but they have a guy who just doesn't make mistakes. But Jackson Arnold doesn't throw the ball to make mistakes. So it's a horrible, and that's why I'm just like, thank God we made the move. I know we don't want to talk about the past, but when I watched that game last weekend, I was just like, man.
To just kind of expound a little bit on the, nobody believes in us, like Ole Miss jumping us to be number 4. Good win by Ole Miss. I think Trinidad Chambliss has been a great story. I thought the moment I saw him come in and play in that Arkansas game, I was like, man, I think this guy's better than the guy they were starting before. And he was. But let's just not forget that this vaunted Ole Miss team that's now number 4 beat Arkansas at home by 6 points. Okay. Yeah. Arkansas, who just fired their coach because they got curb stomped by Notre Dame at Arkansas. Mm-hmm. And they also beat Kentucky, who, other than hitting family members in the stands, didn't do anything great. And they beat that Kentucky team by 7. Could you imagine the bedwetting in Sooner Nation if we had played Kentucky and only won by 7 and played Arkansas at home and only won by 6? I mean, Darren not only would have had BV on the hot seat, he's gone. Okay.
He would have done it himself.
Yes. I mean, let's be honest,
Yeah.
So hats off. I mean, I think Lane's having his moment again. It's kind of what he does. He bubbles up and has a good win. And I think Ole Miss is going to lose 2 straight games to Georgia and to us here in a couple of weeks. And that'll probably be the end of the Lane train for a little while, unless Lane's still, shooting his shot at the Alabama ring girl. You know what I'm talking about from the Tyson fight. Yeah. If he's still shooting his shot at her, maybe that'll work out for him. But all that being said, we're still happy here in Sooner Country. But Jeremy, the scoop's been broken. John Mateer is going to be back against Texas.
Yeah.
We heard it from back in the day. Jeremy and I would always say, word at Snip and Clip was.
Yes.
And for those people from the GI, you understand the happenings that went on at Snip and Clip. But word from the Campus Corner Chipotle is that Mateer is 100% back for Texas. So it's been confirmed here on Soonercast. It's been confirmed by TexAgs. It's been confirmed by Message Boards Geniuses. Don't worry about it. Enjoy Hawkins this week. Then we have Mateer back for Texas.
Yeah, and I love that the kid took a picture with him to back up his comment as John Mateer is smiling big. But you know what? Like, when he got hurt, I said, if he's not playing Texas, I'm really going to be shocked. And I listened to Feinbaum talk my boy Sooner
future
in Texas.
U.S. Senator Paul Feinbaum.
Yeah. Well, my boy Sooner in Texas, he sends me videos on TikTok because he calls in the Feinbaum show all the time. And shout out to him. He gave us a shout out one time from our podcast on his show. But he goes on there and he was talking about Mateer coming back for Texas because Mateer's going to be back for Texas. And Feinbaum goes, I think that would be dumb if he came back to Texas. He's got a bright future, and I don't think they should ruin it. I'm like, okay, it's not like his knee. So let's just kind of back up. It's not. I think a lot of people. I think people don't want him to play against Texas too. Is the other thing because they're a little bit worried it's going to destroy their narrative that Texas is good. So.
Well, as someone who has had hand surgery, okay, you can see if you're watching the video here, see how my knuckles just kind of go down right there, okay, because kind of trying to get a little dunk action going on after a all-star game because, I was Himothy back in the 90s, late 90s, early aughts.
Yeah.
And stupidly
I did play with you, so let's not get too deep into
stupidly
the weeds here.
broke my hand falling down and had to have surgery on my hand. When I had surgery on my hand, a week after my surgery, my hand did not look like John Mateer's. Okay. I had bandages on my hand. I had 2 metal rods put into my hand at the time to make sure everything goes as it should. If you look at that picture, it's not there. I mean,
he has one Band-Aid.
It's a Band-Aid. Okay. And I'm just going to say, I mean, if you've just got a Band-Aid on it, that dude's going to be back.
Yeah.
He is. And I think the only way he's not back is if we feel like it's in OU's best interest for him not to be there. Now, Mateer's obviously not going to risk it if there's something, major. And BV's not going to put him out there. Arbuckle's not going to put him out there. All those guys aren't going to do that. That's not who this program is. But there's going to be a grip strength test that happens Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. And that decision is going to be made. But at the same time, I think they're also going to spend, and we can kind of start talking a little bit about this week. They're going to spend a lot of time getting Mike Hawkins ready to play for Texas, just in case. Because newsflash, Kent State is not a good football team.
No. And you're getting Mike Hawkins and Jade Knott. Really, because if Jade Knott doesn't get probably 20 carries, they're going to want to – I think they're done hurting DeMarco. They're going to go after Jade Knott. They're mad that he's stealing money from us. So, but also, too, did you remember what Venables said before the injury? He said, we prepare Michael Hawkins like he's going to have to take 48 to 50 snaps out there. He said he always have him ready. So it's like they're not dumb. They know John Mateer's running. He's putting his body on the line. I mean, he's like I said before, he runs like Baker does. Like he's not going to slide. He's not going to get out of bounds. He's going to lower his shoulder and he's going to go right at you. So I think they're pretty much understood. Like there's going to be a time where he gets hurt and he might miss a game or two. So I think they're prepared for this situation. I don't think it's as like catastrophic as the rest of the nation is making it out to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, we're still going to field the football team. It's not going to be a Davis Bevel situation. It's not going to be
or OSU.
Yeah, exactly. But that's not what's going to happen. But I am excited to see. I'm excited to see Giovanni Gibson this week. I'm excited to just see, hopefully. And I know I listened to a little bit of Gabe and Teddy before I got on here, and listened to a little bit of the Sooner Scoop guys too. And sounds like most of the offensive line is going to be back. Fasusi may still be a little bit questionable. I don't guess we have an injury report thing since this is a non-conference week.
Yeah, not this week.
I haven't seen one come out, so I guess we're not doing one of those, and we don't have to. But I would like to at least see a series with Fasusi, and I know that's kind of putting him at risk of getting rolled up and that sort of thing, but I would just like to get a little bit of cohesion out there. But I definitely want to see everybody else out there. Want to see Michael out there, obviously. Want to see Wee Woo healthy and all that stuff. And want to see us create some holes in the running game. And I'm going to be honest, I like Blaylock a lot. I think we got Barnes in a good spot. I'm probably not quite as high on Xavier Robinson as some people are. I do think Xavier is a good player. But as far as a true difference maker right now, I don't know if that's him. I want to see Jaden Ott. And I know I'm sick of saying that name. I'm sick of it. And, Jeremy, what do you think? Do you think we're going to see him or not? I don't know. You could put it – I mean, I think we'll see him, but do you think we see him in a meaningful way?
It's one of the biggest mysteries in OU football in a long time. Like, we just cannot figure out, is it an injury? Is it attitude? Is it both? Because, I mean, even Arbuckle threw it out there. He had a good week off of practice, and he was in the right headspace. So made it sound like they're bringing him back healthy, but also, too, he hasn't been in the right headspace. So I don't know what to think. At this point, if they run him out in the first quarter, I think I might be surprised, to be honest with you. But I don't know what to expect with him, and I don't know how they plan on using him. If maybe they're saving him for this stretch run. I don't know. But
yeah, I mean, the exact quote is, here, he was dialed in. He had a great bye week practices. He came to work. He had a great urgency about him.
Yeah. That sounds like somebody that hasn't had the right attitude, and that's why he's not playing. But then you listen to Deion Burks, and Deion Burks says when he gets back to 100%, so it's like, okay, it's an injury. So it's like nobody knows. All they want.
Here's the deal, Jeremy. Here's the frustrating thing is like this guy is obviously talented, and I would be more bought into the fact that maybe that sophomore season was a fluke, and he was banged up last year at Cal, and he doesn't have it anymore. But all we heard when he got here up until the fall camp was, man, that dude just looks different. He just looks different. He's got a different gear. He's got a different speed. He's just different. And then just take that away, I mean, that I just don't understand it. I really don't. I haven't been one of those people who have really dwelt on it, who have just been like, man, that ruins everything else. But at the same time, this is the bye week, so it's our time to kind of talk about it. I mean, it's now or never. It just has to be. And we have to put our most talented guys out there, and we have to give them the football if we're going to have the success we want to have. Because I don't think Arch Manning's great. I don't. But I do think Texas is really talented and really good. And we're going to need Jaden Ott to beat Texas. We don't have to have him. We need him.
Yeah. We're going to have to score some points because I don't think our defense
Scoreboard isn't going to be easy against Texas.
No, it could be one of those 14-3 games we've seen in the past. It's just both defenses are very talented, and that's one thing I'm not going to take away from Texas is their defense is extremely talented. I just don't think a good game against Sam Houston State, it reminds me a lot of Temple last year with Jackson Arnold. We scored all those points, and then you start looking at it, and you're like, well, I mean, we did turn the ball over, and the defense scored some touchdowns too. So it could be fool's gold. And the kid's got Arch Manning's got so much. I mean, now you look at all these draft boards, and you look at all these top SEC quarterbacks, and he's not anywhere to be found. And it's probably played 4 games. So it just.
And we're going to know a lot. Don't you kind of feel like we're going to know a lot more about Texas after this Florida game, even though Florida has been not great. And there's a great chance if Texas wins this game, this is probably Billy Napier's last game at Florida.
And Florida's defense is good.
Right. I mean, but my point being is we're going to know a little more about who Arch is after this Florida game and who Texas is. And I
don't care how bad Florida is. It's in Gainesville, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's not an easy place to win. I don't care how crappy they are. It's not an easy place to win. So,
and I mean, here's the deal.
That's a big win for them if they win.
I know a lot of people, think Billy Napier needs to be gone and, all that stuff. But Billy Napier recruited those players that are there. Those guys, there's other guys on the team, I'm sure, that want him gone. But the majority of that team is going to try to have Billy Napier's back. So they know that this is a do or die game for them. So I expect him to put up a good fight. I really do. And, there's a part of me that a little part of me kind of hopes Texas wins, just because if we were to lose, I don't want to lose to a Texas team that's already lost twice. But at the same time, if Texas can lose, let them lose. That's great. Let them lose
and also too, they could lose every game, and it's still going to be.
It's still going to be Texas.
It's still going to be their Super Bowl, just like us. When we're bad, it's still our Super Bowl. That doesn't change anything. So I just think that's a big win in Gainesville. I don't care how bad they are, and especially, it could catapult Texas to give them a little more confidence if Arch plays like everybody expected him to. Changes the whole mindset of everything that you thought they were going to be. So, because right now I'm pretty low on him. I am too.
Here's the thing.
I'm low on LSU now. I was high and I had them winning the damn conference. Now all of a sudden I'm like, that offense is hot garbage.
Brian Kelly get fired? Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, and LSU has no problem firing people. They will do it. Or Ed O wins a national championship with them, and then they're like, "Yep, you're done." That was Joe Burrow. So.
But, because Texas did look, I know Sam Houston State, who's awful, who's Kent State level awful, but, Arch did look a little better the last game. They did score 55 points. So I do think it's important for us as we go into playing a team that's bad, like what Texas did last time against Sam Houston State. I think it's important for us to, what's the spread on this, Jeremy? 46.5? Is that what I think I saw it at, somewhere around in there? So, this is the quintessential Switzer hang half 100 on them game. Jeremy, a little bit, few little factoids for you on Kent State. Okay.
Hey, Goss, also, too, I just have to bring this out here. Lindsay's looking for stuff for Berkeley to make my niece a birthday present and pulled out one of our old VHS high school basketball videos. I don't think they even make VHSs anymore, do they?
Yeah. And we have a VHS player.
Yeah, we got to buy a VHS player now.
No, we have one.
I've got one. You can borrow.
We didn't. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you got a beta too.
So I got my Dreamcast.
That does not surprise me one bit.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. But anyway, okay, let's talk. Kent State lost. This little factoid, had lost 21 straight games going into this season. They did get a win over Merrimack to start the season this year. So good for the Flashes that they did get the win over Merrimack College.
What division is Merrimack?
Okay, Merrimack College. Let's see. Merrimack College is a.
Go ahead and Google it up.
Go ahead there. Let's see. It is they are FCS, so it is. I thought maybe they were D2, but they are FCS. So
I thought you were going to say they are 6A.
But they are an independent FCS team. So that means that Merrimack, is not going to be playing many other teams that you've ever heard of. So just in case you're curious there. But back to the Golden Flashes. Like I said, they'd lost 21 straight. They have an interim head coach because their previous coach got fired in April of last year. Termination was due to multiple contract violations, including conflicts of interest, code of conduct violations, and misuse of the university's purchasing card. But he did
So
sue
they
the
didn't
school
hire
for-
anybody?
So no, they didn't hire. It was in April, so they just told the OC that he is going to be the interim coach for the entire season. So
It's a
as
good
wild as that is, that's what they did. And so
Well, damn.
there you go. Can you tell me Kent State football's most famous alumni?
Is he a basketball player?
No. You watch him every you watch him pretty much you watch him pretty much every Saturday. You've rooted against him, but you don't mind him on Saturday.
That's a good one. Okay.
Nick Saban. Nick Saban.
I'll be damned.
D-back
I
at
did
Kent
not know.
State. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hell of
Started
a
his
trivia
coaching career
question.
at Kent State too. But yeah, there you go. Kent State there's a D-back at Kent State from 1970 to 72 with a GA.
So they didn't go
at
after
Kent State.
they didn't go after Saban. I
Yeah,
guess
I
because
know, right? Yeah.
he's going after to OSU. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So yeah, he started his career at Kent State as a GA in 73 and 74. And his first coaching job was also at Kent State as a linebackers coach in 75, 76. So
Well, they really screwed
there you
up
go.
on that one, letting him go.
yeah. Okay. Okay.
Sure, they could afford it.
There's some funny people from Kent State. Steve Harvey, Kent State alum. Drew
That was
Carey.
one I think I knew. Okay.
Drew
I
Carey,
knew Drew
Kent
Carey. I
State
thought I heard
alum.
some-
And Arsenio Hall, Kent State.
Is he
alum.
alive still, Arsenio?
It should be. But yeah, he is. He was in that crappy Coming to America sequel, which, Coming to America,
Oh
great.
my God, yeah.
Coming to America, not so great.
Sometimes you just need to stop on some of those. I mean, Happy Gilmore too. Yeah, okay.
But
Had some funny moments. but-
like more recent famous football alums, James Harrison was on the Pittsburgh Steelers for a long time. Played till he's like 45. Eats lightning, craps thunder guy. Yeah, Kent State Golden Flash. So there you go. There's some for anyone was out there like, I wonder who all famous is from Kent State.
if
So,
anybody woke
there you
up and said, "I wonder who went to Kent State,"
as a Yankee fan, Thurman Munson was it, and it says
the most
the other person.
underrated
This,
captain
yes,
of the Yankees, I think.
this was this is one when I Googled famous alumni, Tom Baddicook, who is an American comic strip creator, best known for his long-running newspaper strip, Funky Winkerbean.
Oh, Funky Winkerbean, of course.
Yeah, so we're struggling the 23-minute mark when we're talking about Funky Winkerbean.
Okay,
something.
I guess there was a bye week for us too.
Yeah. So I try to bring out some factoids for you guys. That's what I got. I thought the Nick Saban pull was pretty good. Steve Harvey,
Yeah.
Arsenio Hall.
I would say I would not have guessed Nick Saban. I mean,
Yeah. So there you go.
I do. Do you like Saban on game day?
He's okay.
It's like a week to week deal with me. There's some weeks I'm like, I like him. There's some weeks I'm just like, I don't know. There's too much. To me, sometimes it can be too opinionated, but I know that's now in this day and age, that's what gets clicks. That's what gets.
I think
people
he
to
just
watch.
like a lot of. To me, he is not critical at all of his buddies, and a little like overly critical and a little overly negative on people who aren't really part of his buddy system. Which is fine. I get it. You're going to protect your. He's
kind of like how Bob was on the Fox.
Yeah,
those guys aren't just going to go run their old coaching buddies down. That's
that's
because they were in their shoes and they're just like, we know what they're going through, so they're not going to go and be like, he's crap and he does need to be fired. It's like that's not going to be
the thing. On preseason things, I still prefer game day. I'm not a Fox Big Noon guy. I can't really get into the Barstool stuff.
Portnoy's kind of he's
that's
too
okay,
much.
but it's not me. I did see a deal from Portnoy where he said that Michigan would definitely win the SEC.
Yeah.
Would definitely be the best team in the SEC. And I'm like, I'm like,
Okay,
dude,
and that's my
I mean,
that's my
and
problem
like,
with
here's the
him.
deal, like, and that's where ESPN is better. I mean, like, ESPN's not going to put a guy who's going to say that. I mean, even though Desmond went to Michigan, Desmond's not going to say that. He might he might think that in the deep recesses of his mind, but he might pick Michigan against everybody, but he's not going to come out and say something stupid like that.
Well, it's
You
just
know,
like Herb Street. I mean, all these young kids don't even realize Kirk Herbstreit went to Ohio State and was a quarterback because
right,
he doesn't. I mean, it's not like he goes, okay, he's not like if Brian Bosworth was on game day,
right,
he would be
or
like, well, I'm going. You would know damn well that he went to University of Oklahoma because that's who he's rooting for, and he doesn't hide it. And that's why they put those guys on there. But the one thing with Portnoy, that's kind of why. I mean, I know he's doing stuff to get a rise and get clicks out of people because that's what his
right.
job
That's his
is.
job, right?
And so I'm just like some of this stuff, people just fall right into the trap. It's like he says crap like that because what conference has the most crazy fan base in
Yeah,
America?
exactly. We're
SEC.
living it.
So
Right.
it's funny that we fall in those traps, just like people saying, well, OU, they're the sixth best team, like doing these SEC power rankings. And I'm just like, because Mateer got hurt or because we
Yeah.
cheated Auburn and won?
Yes, exactly. I mean, because here's the deal, guys. I mean, Auburn had a chance, and they played terrible. Had one offensive yard in the fourth quarter, but they had a chance to win that A&M game. A&M did everything they could to let Auburn win that game, and we did
Oh, for
beat
sure.
Auburn worse at home than A&M did. I mean, now I don't think that's a very popular opinion out there right now, but it's the truth.
Yeah, I
But
came out more prepared, or came out of that game more impressed with Auburn than I did A&M. I'm like, God dang, if Auburn had a quarterback, they might have won the last two games.
because, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not that Jackson played awesome against OU, but that was the best version of Jackson I've seen. And I mean, and when that best version still wasn't that great, you kind of knew. I mean, it is what it is with him. Okay, Jeremy, got a couple questions for you here as we wind down. Not exactly Sooner related, but Sooner adjacent. Okay, you are a college football coach. Let's say you're, what's his name? GJ Kinney at Texas State, whatever. Let's say you're an up and coming coach. Would you rather have the OSU job or the Arkansas job?
Good question. Very good question. I think you have more resources at Arkansas, but I think OSU is an easier job.
I agree.
I think you have a better chance to win in the Big 12. I just always feel like Arkansas is going to be middle of the road, bottom feeders of the SEC. But they have the money to spend. I think they just need somebody, and that's why I'm like, I think the smart move is they're giving a test run with Petrino, and I think if he shows the pulse, I think they would like to give it to him. Now, rumor has it that Gruden's kind of maneuvering to try to get that spot. I don't know Gruden's a college coach, and he's got the Gruden name, so people think he's just going to go in there and be successful. It ain't a slam dunk, in my opinion. It's a different game now. So, I think I would go OSU just because it's easier to win quicker, and I think
I
this day and
definitely
age you got
think
to win quick.
I think if you're a young and up and coming person, I definitely think it's the OSU job. I think that's the job you want. I think if you're an older person, especially if you're sleazy and you want to just see, okay, can I talk to Walton family into just pouring money into this? And I talked to the Tyson guy who paid and went and got Calipari. Can I talk him into, just dumping money into this thing? And we can do to the SEC what Texas Tech's trying to do to the Big 12. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can buy your way to the top of the SEC from where Arkansas is. But in the end, I think your easier chance to wins at OSU. But it's also a little bit scary to look at. I mean, outside of the Mike Gundy era, I mean, that's been a desolate place for football, except for a few, a few peaks. And so
I could see GJ Kinney being a good fit at OSU. They have to go completely polar opposite of what Mike Gundy was. I mean, that's the only way to be successful. Younger guy like GJ Kinney, I listened to his Texas State guys, and you know what? I like his approach to it. They're not dumb. They know that he's going to be a hot commodity. And his quarterback said, he just came up to us and said, "Hey, I'm here coaching you this season. How the chips fall next year is how the chips fall, but I'm giving you everything I got this year." And he goes, he was real with me. He was up in front, honest. And you know what? That's how you get recruits, is you're honest with kids. You don't go out the back door like Lincoln Riley did and say, "Well, I'm not taking this job or that job or not." So I hate comparing stuff to Lincoln Riley because I don't think anybody's done it as bad as he does. But but I just feel like that's kind of what OSU needs. They need somebody that you're going to have to build it up. That thing is got to take it down to studs, take it right. And kind of the same way with Arkansas, you got to give whoever they get, you got to give them a little bit of time, because it ain't just overnight they're going to fix that. I don't care how much money you throw at it.
And I mean, and sometimes you catch lightning in a bottle. I mean, you look at from the same conference what Signetti did at Indiana. I do think scheduling is really important. I mean, Indiana's gotten a break with their Big Ten scheduling. They've scheduled absolutely dog crap outside of the Big Ten. And so Signetti's been able to do that real quick. And I mean, it's just one of those things of, I do think there's a path for both those teams to be a little more successful than what they are, but I don't think it's a slam dunk that either situation is just automatically better next year than it was right now. I really don't.
Yeah. It is lightning in a ball. And here's what I want to see: we have 3 Power 5 openings come open the off season. We've already got 4 through 4 games of the season. So that it just shows you like everybody was ready to make those moves beforehand. It's just they kind of pushed their hand. But I want to see which school is the first school to lower the buyouts on these contracts. Somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to do it, and they got to follow suit. Somebody's going to follow suit, but they're waiting for that person to do it. But these, Mike Gundy, $15 million buyout. I mean,
no, that's insane.
I mean, look at Jimbo Fisher's buyout at A&M. Like you just, somebody's going to have to offer, say, a $5 million buyout. And if they say, we're not doing that, say, okay, well, we'll go somebody else that will take this job. I mean, that's the only way to stop this, because you just keep offering $15, $20 million buyouts. People are going to, they just assume that's what it is. So and this makes me curious that somebody's going to eventually do that.
And one thing I just want to touch on just a little bit, speaking of money, is it kind of got broke today, and I haven't really had time to really, really look into this a whole lot. But, there's been some talk of the Big Ten and this, whatever you want to call it, private equity, private capital, essentially the Big Ten just completely selling itself out to corporate America. And, there's talks of maybe $2 billion being infused into the Big Ten. And obviously the SEC is going to get a similar, if not bigger deal. And we could still, we've seen the beginning of the end, and it gets closer and closer. And it will be interesting too. But these are off-season conversations. And the only reason I'm bringing it up because we're on a bye week. But something to look out for, something to, if you're killing time at work and you're through listening to this, you're like, what do I need to look at? Look into that $2 billion private capital, private equity, whatever you want to call it, deal. I think Pete Thamel is kind of who broke it, but Pete Thamel says he broke it. That probably means someone else really broke it, and then Pete Thamel stole it. Is probably kind of how that works. So
that's how it works around here. Okay.
There's probably a better article on The Athletic or, on 3 or somewhere else about it. But putting a bow on this week, Jeremy, give me your final score and give me like 2 things you want to see against Kent State.
Okay, so I would say I just don't see Kent State. I don't care if it's our second or third team scoring on us. I'm going to say 48-0. I mean, that's probably pretty, but I'd like to see Jay not in there. I'd like to see Michael Hawkins just play the whole game. I don't care how big the score gets. I think it's very important to him start growing some continuity with these receivers. Giovanni Gibson, I don't know if he's got a pitch count on him, but just develop some of those relationships. Keep an eye on Kearney, because him and Hawkins have developed a pretty good relationship. If you look in that bowl game, he threw to him a lot of times because he trusts him. So I think you're going to see a little bit of Kearney this game, but really want to see if Ott is going to get to run the football.
Yeah.
And also, too, I want to see Michael Hawkins in there. I don't care what the score is. I think you just get him as much reps as you can.
For me, I'm going to go 54-7 as a final. I say Stephens has just given up some big plays here and there. So I'm going to say like second group gives up a big play at some point, or maybe Hawk throws a pick and they run it back or something like that. Unfortunately, we haven't seen that before. I want to see bombs. I want to see Hawkins just cutting loose and throwing it deep. In my dream world, that's to Giovanni Gibson. Would love to see that. As a prop bet, I say Jacob Jordan has a touchdown this week. There's a prop bet for somebody. I'm not sure what odds you could get on that, but that's your.
I think you could get.
FanDuel, if you'll email me back and give us our sponsorship, I would tell people what those prop bets are. But you're too busy sponsoring, podcasts with millions of subscribers. And
stupid podcast.
Yeah, stupid.
We're
Bill
giving you gold over here.
Yeah, good Lord. Who else freaking talking about snip and clip and Boynton baseball? Nobody.
VHSs and betas and old basketball videos. For crying out loud, what else are we going to give you people?
Yeah, exactly. So, two things. Go Yanks. Let's hope they can pull one out tomorrow and stay alive. I'm sure they just won today, so Aaron Boone can keep his job because he's an incompetent boob. At some point when we have some free time, I'll tell you all my reasons of why I hate Aaron Boone, but we don't want to have a 3-hour podcast.
Yeah, but I don't think we got enough time tonight to go through all that.
Soonercast@gmail.com. If you too hate Aaron Boone, I would love to email with you.
Also, to subscribe to us on YouTube. I think my audio affected a little bit of our viewership last week. I apologize for that. I'm back on the computer now, boys and girls, so I figured out how to get my sound back on there. Oh, for crying out loud. I forgot what I was talking about. All right, and follow us on Apple and Spotify. Hey, and since we're talking baseball, Brian Snicker, Goss said he got fired. He didn't really get fired. I think he's kind of mutual split. Guy brought me a World Series. He will always be top of my list. I don't care how crappy we look this year. But so I'm excited to get a new coach in there. I think it was his time to go, and he was their mutual agreement. That's always nice when the fan base love coach, and he just knows it's time for him to step down. So it's not like Aaron Boone where everybody wants to fire his butt. Yeah, that was a text message we got earlier. Okay, before we start sending any more Aaron Boone, Osama bin Laden stuff. So, guys, thanks for listening. Till Sunday. I guess we'll probably do a Sunday one. Yeah,
let's hope we don't have to do a Saturday one, but if we do,
Jesus Christ, we have to do a Saturday one. I am going to. I probably won't be able to open my eyes. I'll be so drunk, but yeah, we'll do a post game on Sunday, and then next week is Texas, our favorite time of the year. So
8-week begins.
Till then, Boomer Sooner.
Boomer. Boom.